they don't tell you what to do when you do ejaculate. And now this isn't to say that I don't agree with semen retention. I am 100% with you guys. I'm trying just as hard as you. I'm just not perfect. And I'm noticing how there's this standard for perfection, and that if you made it 30 days, you're not as good as someone who made it 60 days. And if you can only make it 4 days, then you fucking suck. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have some of my most productive days after I do ejaculate. Although that's not the goal, I channel that energy of what would have become shame, guilt, judgment, and I channel that energy into myself and love myself and be like, hey, body, you wanted to ejaculate. That's okay. Like, I know we're trying to not really do that, but I'm gonna trust you that that's what you needed in this moment, and we're gonna move forward and see what magic today has for me. Because our energy levels are all about our mindset and going with the flow, and that's the whole point of semen retention and nofap in the first place, is to connect to our body and understand our energy in a new way. So I'm a little confused as to when we got lost to thinking that understanding our body and our sexual energy means that one thing is good, one thing is bad. It is up to you. You make the decision of what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I know people who can stroke every single day to porn, not ejaculate, be fine for months. For me, if I literally think the slightest sexual thought, I get blue balls after 3 days. It's tough, we're not perfect. So I think that means to me that every single person's sexuality is different. I have tons of fucking energy. And if I try to put into a box oh my God, I didn't make it 7 days, I didn't get to this point, bro, 3 days in, 4 days in, I feel like I'm on Molly, I'm there. And do I see myself down the line getting further, having non-ejaculatory orgasms? I hope so, but we're not talking about the future. We're talking about right now. And that's the thing about spirituality and all these practices and mindfulness, is that I think that we're striving for perfection. We're striving to be this perfect Buddha figure instead of accepting where we're at, which is the whole point of spirituality in the beginning, is to accept where you're at, love yourself in this moment, and then move forward in that vibration. So again, to wrap up this little spiel, you are individual, and your sexuality is the most unique thing that you have on this planet, because nobody has that same sexuality. Nobody is into the same things as you. Nobody has the same energy levels. It is up to you to decide. And we're here to help guide you, and other people's opinions will continue to guide you and lead you in the right direction. But I've found myself from the videos that I've watched getting lost and getting confused and judging myself as to why I can't make it to a certain level. So here are a few rules that I go by for when I ejaculate and the next day I might not be feeling my optimal self. Rule number 1, release any shame and guilt about ejaculating. Easier said than done. Everybody fucking says that, but this is in a kind of a new way. It is about being present in this moment, loving yourself. Love yourself. That's the point of understanding your sexual energy, is to love yourself. So if you ejaculated, give yourself a break, and not only give yourself a break, love yourself. Be like, okay, we did this for a reason. I trust you, body, that you needed to ejaculate. Now let's move forward and see what magic is in store for us today. Number 2, I give myself permission to be addicted to Kundalini Yoga, meditation, breathwork, whatever the practice may be. Give yourself permission to be addicted to it. Now, I know at first that might sound a little weird and hey bro, I'm trying to not be addicted to things anymore. That's why I'm doing this shit. But hear me out. If you're trying semen retention, you most likely have come into some kind of addiction, whether it's most likely sex addiction or just addiction to something in life in general. We're trying to add more structure into our lives and channel this energy into something positive, which means you are probably channeling this energy into something not positive throughout your life. So when I wake up and I feel low energy and I'm about to get depressed and judge myself, I give myself permission to become addicted to whatever it is that I'm doing so that I can feel pleasure from it. Pleasure. pleasure is the thing that we're all seeking, and that's what we are trying to give up, is the hunt for pleasure through ejaculation. However, you can make life pleasurable in every single moment, including after you ejaculate. Now, I'm not saying that you necessarily want to get addicted to Kundalini Yoga or meditation or breathwork, whatever it is. However, if you were addicted to that, it would probably be a lot better than anything else on this fucking world. Because there's days when I wake up and I just don't fucking feel like it. Like, I'm working so hard meditating, like staying positive, doing all these different things for my spiritual practice. And some days, especially after I ejaculate, I'm just like, fuck everything. Give me some pleasure. Like, I deserve this. I can't take it anymore. Like, I just want to do X, Y, and Z, whatever it is that your guilty pleasures are. And if I give myself permission, like I literally say the words in that moment, I give myself permission to be addicted. Like, cause that's a kind of a triggering, kind of rebellious word. And I think that it's kind of fucking hot to say that to yourself. Like, I give myself permission to be addicted to, you know, whatever it is, like your exercise, movement, Kundalini, meditation. Because then I'm telling my brain, like, no, it's okay. We're going to get pleasure from this. And you can enjoy this. You can enjoy chasing pleasure in this situation, because we are all chasing pleasure whether we're aware of it or not, and that's what we're consciously trying to move away from with semen retention. However, you still do it, especially in a lower vibrational state. So if we just accept it like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna chase pleasure from meditation, then you're good. And that's one of the biggest takeaways I want you to have from this video, is giving yourself pleasure and permission to love yourself in every moment, especially after you ejaculate, and seeing what's in store and enjoying it. Because just because you're not on this crazy high that you had when you were holding in your semen, you can still experience pleasure from all types of different things, and you can get back into that mindset. Which leads me to number 3, which is Kundalini Yoga. Either you've done it before or you haven't, or you're a pro at it. I'm gonna link below a video that I absolutely fucking love. She's so awesome. It's so simple, 10-15 minutes, and I adopt a lot of her practices just into my daily routine. And like, I don't need to watch the video anymore because I just got it in my brain. So I think that even if you do like Kundalini Yoga, this video is so awesome, and it's just a good thing to sit down, do these breaths when you wake up and you're feeling low energy. It's just boom, you're fucking back. Number 4 is to move your body. There's so much power in dance and movement. And once you kind of have gone through these steps a little bit, like, okay, I came, I released the shame and guilt, I give myself permission to be addicted to this new lifestyle. I'm gonna do some Kundalini breath movements and yoga. And now I'm gonna move my body and be here now. And dance and movement is the best possible way to do that. And a lot of people who talk about semen retention talk about how physical exercise is so important, which it is, but there's days where I just can't do it. Or me personally, I struggle with a lot of neck and back pain, and I just can't do a workout any time of the day that I want to. And that's something that nobody really talks about. Like, what about people with body issues or whatever the case may be? So with dance and movement, it's a great way to get physical exercise without having to do a workout. And it's fun, and you get back in your body, and you can just be like, fuck yeah, listen to whatever song turns you on. Just get moving, like, love yourself, be okay with it. When you love yourself, you raise your vibration so high that it doesn't matter if you came 7 months ago or a day ago, you'll get back into your body, and it'll help raise your vibration to be in the moment and be open and aware to whatever the universe is trying to show you in that day. Number 5, fast. When I wake up after ejaculating, and again, how I mentioned, I kind of am craving that dopamine hit, food for me is usually the first way to get it. And if I don't eat and I do these practices and I meditate and I do Kundalini Yoga, I get into my body, allow the day to kind of flow through me, then the craving for food kind of goes away, because I was able to get dopamine through a natural, stable level instead of like shooting myself with dopamine. So I think that fasting while you do all these practices and while you have your morning routine is an awesome way to stay in your body and like stay focused and not hit yourself with dopamine right when you wake up or shortly after. And I think that this is a good tip for every day. When I wake up, I find that I'm hungry and I like want to tackle the world with food and like, fuck yeah, give me everything. But when I center myself, do these practices, move my body, exercise, whatever it may be, the hunger kind of goes away and I'm able to connect way easier. So I think that fasting in the morning is an awesome way to connect, get into your body and keep energy levels high.